Hey guys, a happy Thursday. It is Thursday, March 9th already. It's time for Pocket Up with Joe. We've got 11 games on the board. Lots of action, lots of places to make some money in the NHL today. Happy Thursday, Matt. Let's make some freaking money. I'm glad to be on time today. Apologies for the last couple of days. Things have come up and I've been super busy, but we're going to get through today's show, fly through these games. And again, I appreciate each and everyone for being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button because we're coming up to the weekend and who the heck knows when I'm going to be going live. Big shout out. Thank you for joining me here today. Okay. The New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins kick off at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight. Now, the Islanders coming in here with some nice plus money as the dog up plus 126. They're sitting fourth in the Metro right now and expected to start Sorokin. Pittsburgh Penguins are coming in off a win. The Islanders won their last two as well. Now, they're a short price money line. Sorry, my dog just freaked out. It's like a bee was chasing him. So they're a short price here on the money line, minus 152. A little too high, though, for me to grab them. I do think the Pittsburgh Penguins walk away with the win in this matchup today. Now, we saw the Islanders win the last matchup between these two. They have won both this season, but the Pittsburgh Penguins really do need to get the win here. I think Sidney Crosby is going to come out with a strong day. When we look at his points versus the Islanders in his last two games, he has accumulated 3 points versus the Islanders. So it's kind of you buy him up to 1.5 points tonight. You're getting that at plus 180, over 1.5 points for Sidney Crosby for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do like it if you want to go safer. All 3 points that he got in the last two games have been the way of an assist. So to take him for an assist tonight, it's minus 118 for the assist on Sidney Crosby. And I think both of those should hit nicely in this one. So look for the Penguins to get the win. I'm trying to find value in this. I think the first period would be a possibly strong way to go. Taking the Penguins in the first period on that puck line is plus 156. So we're getting plus value there. And if I like the Penguins, I'm rolling with the over 5.5 in this one. And just let me make sure we haven't seen that one jump up to 6. No. And it is minus 132 to the over 5.5. I think that's probably the strongest bet of this one. So there we go. We're going to take the Penguins over 5.5. We're going to take the Penguins in the first period for like a half unit on that at plus 156. I do think they cover that puck line in the first period. And then Sidney Crosby, if you want to take the safe way, take his assists over 0.5 assists at minus 118. If you believe like I do that he can get over 2 or over 1.5 points in this, it's plus 180. Yeah, college basketball, there is so much going on right now. It is absolutely crazy. I have 6 picks out in college. So my anxiety levels, I tell you, with college and so many games on the board in hockey and then professional NBA, it's crazy. Let's look at the next game here. The New York Rangers. But Kelly, I wish you all the best and all your bets. Thanks for joining us here. The New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens, 7 o'clock Eastern for this. Igor Shesterkin expected for the Rangers. Now we know the Rangers are off that loss. Then they've lost their last two. The last game was to the Boston Bruins. And you guys, come on. Anyone losing to the Boston Bruins really can't say that they're a bad team, that they had a bad loss. The Bruins are by far the best team in the league right now, especially on the defensive side of the puck. But when we look at the New York Rangers here, we've had so many adjustments. I'm looking for them to get things under their feet in this game, for those lines to start working well. Now they're coming in as a large favorite at minus 275, and everyone and their grandmother is taking the Rangers tonight. So this does scare me a little. They're sitting third in the Metro, and we have the Montreal Canadiens 8th in the Atlantic. Montreal is a team that loves to play upset, and they can get these upsets in certain situations. They won the last matchup over the New York Rangers 2-1 as well. Now, Jake Allen expected out here, not Sam Montembeault, so I don't have as much faith in the Montreal Canadiens because I was looking, flirting with taking them on the puck line, but I just can't get there. We look at the New York Rangers on the road on the puck line. They're 19-12 on that puck line on the road. Montreal only 16-15 at home on that puck line. Now, they have covered the puck line as an underdog in their last 5, but I do think this is the New York Rangers' ability to get this win and get a nice big win. Between these two, we have seen that road team cover the puck line in the last 6 matchups. And the Rangers, 9-4 in the last 13 games, playing on 3 days or more rest. So they're coming in here with rest. They have been practicing their lines. They've been getting more used to playing with each other. So while they have struggled on the road, I do expect them to come out here and cover the puck line. So laying 1.5 with the New York Rangers here is -120. I just really do think this is one of my favorite bets of the day for the Rangers to come out nice and big. Oh, Benji, you're going to trust Montreal over the Rangers. Grabbing the Rangers plus the 1.5. I don't blame you. For sure. Yeah, Kaprizov. Who knows how long he is out. If you guys have seen reports on how long he is out for the Wild, let me know. I would live bet UCLA. I can't live bet UCLA right now, Joe. Man, what's the score? Let me know. I haven't even, I put my bets in this morning. I got 6 bets out. I think most of my games are in later games, but yeah. I haven't watched any basketball. I've been trying to get ready for hockey. So these games are absolutely crazy. Bruins versus Oilers over 6.5 all day long. Be careful with that one, Joe. If the Boston Bruins completely shut down Edmonton, which I don't think they will, I do think it goes over, but it's a tricky one. Michael, you're going to parlay the Rangers and the Devils. I like it. I do like the Devils as well today. So let's jump to the next game. I'll give you my thoughts on those. That is the Devils game. So the Devils are coming in here at, I'm getting them, oh, I got them earlier around -145. They're -146 right now, plus 122 for the Washington Capitals. Total sitting solid at 6.5. The over at -106, the under at -114. If you like the Devils big on that puck line, -1.5, they're plus 160. No value on the Washington Capitals here on that puck line. Now, the last time these teams matched up was back in November. We saw a big win out of the Devils. That was a 5-1 win over the Washington Capitals. Vanek expected here for the Devils and Kemper expected for the Washington Capitals. Now the Capitals coming in off that loss to the LA Kings. It was a 4-2 win for the Kings. Kings getting that puck line cover in regulation. It was tight though. For a second there, I really thought we were going to have to see overtime in this one. Now, the Devils are coming off a loss that I didn't actually think they would lose that game versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. That was a 4-3 loss. They have the Montreal Canadiens on deck, so there's no look ahead here. We have a battle of the Metro with the Devils sitting second and the Washington Capitals sitting sixth. Now, if the Devils had a harder opponent on deck, I would be kind of shying away from them in this situation just because of a look-ahead situation where they know that they have beat this Metro team before and that they could easily overlook them. I don't think that is the case in this one. The Devils have been so strong versus the Metropolitan. They know that they need to win every single game to catch on the Carolina Hurricanes. And at this short price on the money line, -146, I know we are paying some juice, but I just can't get past and not taking them here. Now, off that loss, the Devils have been absolutely strong, bouncing back off those losses, winning their last 9 off a loss. So I've got a roll here with the Devils. The Capitals, nice fade situation, also returning home off that road trip. You guys know we like to fade teams off a road trip of 7 days or more in certain cases. There's some teams that don't go into this mold, but the Washington Capitals are one. They're 2-5 in their last 7 home games following a road trip of 7 or more days. So it was a 4-game road trip that spanned over, I believe it was 8 days here. So that's what I'm looking at here is to fade them here. They're also coming in on a couple days rest. They come out slow and rusty. So if you want to take the Devils in the first period as well on that puck line, let's just see what the value is as the Caps come out slow into this game. The first period puck line for the Devils is -0.5 goal at plus 158. And I do think with that plus value there, that's where you have to go. Now, I would be a little scared here of the whole total over that 6.5 because we know Vanek is strong in a goal. We also know the New Jersey Devils are strong at limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots on goal, holding opponents to 28.3. So if you want to do anything with the total, you guys, honestly, I'd be looking at the Devils team total, taking that to the over. We know the Washington Capitals are going to allow these goals to come in. So that's the only way I'd look at the total. We do see strong trends to the overs between these two teams. Like we said, the last time these teams played, the Devils put up 5 goals. So you could look even at the Washington Capitals team total to that under. The next game on the ice here, it's going to be a good one. The Philadelphia Flyers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, 7 o'clock Eastern for this one. Now the Flyers coming in here, expected to start Carter Hart and Frederik Andersen here for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now the Canes are huge favorite, minus 410 here on the money line, plus 315. If you think the Flyers can pull off the upset, total has gone from 6 to 6.5. We see the Philadelphia Flyers rolling in here off a loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a 5-2 loss. They've got the Penguins on deck, and we've seen the Canes winning their last 3 games. Montreal, they had to go to a shootout with Montreal. It was a 4-3 win versus Montreal, and they've got Vegas on deck on Saturday. Looking at their look-ahead schedule with Vegas being first in the Pacific, I do think this is a tiny bit of a look-ahead, and it's really hard to fade the Philadelphia Flyers, especially when we're getting them plus 2.5 on that puck line. The last time these two teams played, it was a tighter game than most would expect, with the Carolina Hurricanes only winning at 6-5. We had a huge high-scoring game. I can see this being another high-scoring game. Frederik Andersen shouldn't let in as many goals, but I do think with the ability of the Canes to get these goals in this game, even though they've got a strong defense, we still go to that over. What I like best, though, is taking the Philadelphia Flyers plus 2.5 at minus 140 on that puck line. 21-12 on the road on that puck line this season. So I think it's a solid way to take this game. Now, the Flyers have lost the last 5 meetings versus the Carolina Hurricanes. I just can't lay 2.5 goals here with the Canes. They're 13-18 at home. They've won their last 10 following overtime, and they won their last 9 off a loss. So they are a scary team coming into this. We've seen strong trends to the over as well, with 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two go over that total. Okay, let me just take a quick look at your comments here, you guys. Let's get that money, that is for sure. Rangers and Devils parlay. Michael, I absolutely love that. Colorado 24, UCLA 25. Joe, that is a good game. I wish I had it on right now. Bruins 10-0, but no big lead in the division. No pressure. Exactly. It is scary when you have a team that isn't playing under pressure, and Edmonton is playing to stay relevant in the Pacific. Maybe at Washington and New Jersey. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. The Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Andrei Vasilevskiy expected here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Adin Hill expected for Vegas. Now, Tampa got a win. Thank God. Tampa went on a 5-game losing streak, got that win, broke the losing streak. That was over the Flyers 5-2. I tell you, if they would have lost that game, I would have been shaking my head and wondering what the heck is happening to this team. They had the Blackhawks on deck on Saturday, so no look ahead. And this team is strong at home, but they're facing the Vegas Golden Knights, who this team, I tell you, the up and downs of this team is crazy. They're sitting 17-12 on the puck line on the road, 17-7-3-2 on the road straight up. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning coming in here 25-5-3-1 at home. Really hard to fade them at home, but the value I am getting on Vegas, there is no way I can pass up with the inconsistencies we've seen out of the Tampa Bay Lightning as of late. Am I being suckered into this line? God, I hope not. We didn't fall for the line versus the Panthers in the last game, with Vegas coming in as the favorite or as the dog. We were getting great plus money with them with the Panthers. I couldn't jump in there. They lost that game to the Panthers 2-1, and I was so very thankful that I stayed off of Vegas, because sometimes these lines I think are fishy and they're tricks, and they're begging us to take Vegas. In this one, I don't think they're begging us to take Vegas. I think there's a lot of bias with Tampa at home after they went on a huge losing streak. Then they got a win to the Flyers. I think a lot of people expecting the Lightning now to go on a run. I do think Vegas can get this win. I'm going to jump on them at that plus 146. They have been struggling on the road. I absolutely know that, but they still are a 9-4 in their last 13 games overall. The underdog has won the last 4 meetings between these two as well. And the Golden Knights versus teams with winning records have been so strong. And this is the difference between these two teams. We look at Vegas versus teams with a winning record. In their last 6 games versus teams with the winning record, they've won 5 of those. When we look at the Tampa Bay Lightning versus teams with a winning record, they have lost their last 4 games versus teams with a winning record. 1-5 in the last 6 overall. I can't back the Lightning. So give me Vegas with a sprinkle on that money line. I do think we have a high scoring first period. I know Andre Vasilevsky and Aiden Hill are solid goalies, but we are seeing this trend where we've got solid goalies, solid defenses. The goals come in that first period. That first period over 1.5 is at -128. Now the full game, I am terrified to take over, because I look at what these two teams can do defensively. Vegas really stronger at limiting opponents, holding them to 2.6 or 2.76 goals per game. This one is tight to that number. I could see it being 4-3, or I could see this one just staying under that, being a 4-2 game. So give me Vegas here. And give me the first period over 1.5, but the full game, I am staying off in this one. This one could be an overtime, and if that's the case, I think it's 2-2 going to overtime. Could be 3-3 as well. Vegas road unders have been super strong as well, and Tampa and Vegas in the last 4 meetings in Tampa, we've seen 3 of those go under the total and 1 of those push. We don't have a solid number here. We have a half a goal, so we can't get the push, but we have seen strong trends to that under. Get back to work, Michael. Have a good one. Thank you so much for joining us here. Taking the dog. You got to take the dog. Tampa doesn't have the Panthers offense. Vegas has defense. Yeah, Vegas absolutely has a strong defense, limiting opponents to 30.6 shots on goal per game. Now, Tampa is solid at limiting opponents as well, but I really like what we've seen out of Aiden Hill. He actually has a stronger goals against average than Andre Vasilevsky right now on the season, so it will be really interesting one. Quick in net for Vegas. Yeah, I believe it. You could look at Vegas in the first period, but I also think the Lightning have the opportunity to go up in this first period. And that's why I'm not taking both teams to score in the first period. I think this one is a little bit of a harder first period to take both teams to score. But I do think we're going to get 2 goals in that first period. I think they're going to come, and they're going to come fast. So give me the first period over 1.5. The next game on the board, the Dallas Stars taking on the Buffalo Sabres, 7 p.m. Eastern for this one. We have Dallas rolling in here as the favorite at -170-ish. We got +140 here for the Buffalo Sabres. You guys know I love a home dog. Can I get behind this home dog? I don't think so. Eric Crombie in goal here for the Buffalo Sabres. Jake Ottinger coming in for the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars are the overall better team. We've seen struggles on the defensive side of the puck for the Buffalo Sabres, allowing I got a little bit of a hiccup. Sorry, guys. 3.55 goals per game on average and 33.2 shots on goal. With the ability of the Stars offensively, especially off of that loss versus the Calgary Flames on Monday, I think we really do see Dallas get a nice big win here. Now, this is their first game of a 6-game road trip, so they got a long road trip ahead of them. They've got 2 games in Seattle on deck, so it's going to be an interesting schedule for them here. It's a little bit of a harder one. I think they need to get this win. And now the Stars have won 10 of the last 14 meetings versus the Buffalo Sabres, but the Sabres did pick up the win in January. It was a 3-2 low-scoring one. Buffalo has the Rangers on deck Saturday, which is an interesting look ahead. I just cannot trust Buffalo at home. They've actually been stronger on the road than they've been at home. They're 13-17-2 at home this season, 32-27, 3-1. On the season straight up. So with this one, I am looking at Dallas to get the win. I don't know if I love it in regulation. It's just a little concerning for me. What I am going to do is look at the under 6.5. I think Jake Ottinger has a really solid night out here tonight. I know we just saw Dallas put up 4 goals, but I think Jake Ottinger locks down the strong offensive performance that we could see out of the Buffalo Sabres. My favorite bet of the day is to look at Jake Ottinger's save shots on goal. We can get Jake Ottinger over 27.5 save shots on goal. That is coming in at -110, and I absolutely love it here. The Buffalo Sabres are averaging 32.5 shots on goal. We will see more shots on them on Jake Ottinger tonight because the Dallas Stars allow that 31. So I'm looking for about 34, 35 shots on goal by the Buffalo Sabres. Jake Ottinger at least saving 4 of those shots on goal tonight. So Give me over 27.5 save shots on goal for Jake Ottinger in the Dallas Stars and the Buffalo Sabres matchup. And that's my favorite bet of the game. Now, the under has hit in 4 of the last 7 meetings, 2 pushes and 1 over. And in Buffalo, 5 of the last 7 have hit that under as well. So something to look at there, you guys, taking that under 6.5. We have to talk about the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton taking on the Boston Bruins. Really interesting matchup here to see how Boston comes out. Boston sitting first in the Atlantic, and like I believe Kelly threw out, Boston just dominated in this Atlantic division. They're not going to lose the Atlantic division. They can lose this game tonight. Now, they lost, or they won their last 10. Their last game, they won over the New York Rangers. It was a 4-2 win there for them. Edmonton coming in here off a win over the Buffalo Sabres 3-2. They've got the Leafs on deck on Saturday to end this road trip. The Leafs and the Bruins, both really hard opponents for the Edmonton Oilers. They're sitting 4th in the Pacific right now. We have we're going to have a game out of them tonight. They're going to bring everything they've got in this one. They're 19-10-2-1 on the road, 18-14 on that puck line. Now, when we look at Edmonton on the puck line tonight, there is no value, but I do think this is a tight game. I think they can keep it within 1. The Oilers are 5-1 in the last 6 meetings in Boston, too. This is a place where they go into and win. Now, the underdog has covered the puck line against the – sorry. They're 5-0 on the puck line as an underdog against the Boston Bruins. I just got an email in that I started reading and then I lost train of thought. You guys know I cannot read and talk. So we look at the Boston Bruins here. I think they win this one. I would be cautious taking them on that puck line, even though they are such a better team. This isn't a game that they need. So they've got 2 games versus the Red Wings on deck. So it's not huge. The Red Wings are 7th in the Atlantic. So they play the Red Wings at home, and then they go to Detroit to play the Red Wings there. Not a look ahead per se, but it is an Atlantic divisional opponent. I'm going to look at this one. I'm trying to find value for you guys, trying to find the best way to take it. And both teams to score in the first period. I can see that happening. Yes, Boston has all mark expected. Skinner expected here for the Edmonton Oilers. We know Boston will get a goal. If we can count on Edmonton to get that goal, we've seen them come out hot in the first period. Both teams to score in the first period is plus 150. If you're a little nervous with that, I'm a little nervous with it, but I am going to put a little bit of money on it. You can take the first period over 1.5. That's at minus 145. I think these teams get off to a hot start here. If you think Edmonton gets off to the hotter start, you could take them reverse puck line. You're going to get amazing plus money with that. But the Boston Bruins, I don't want to step in front of this team for the full game. Edmonton has dominated this matchup in Boston, but the Bruins, the best team in the NHL, and I'm not jumping in front of them. So the Bruins in regulation, if you think it goes that way, is minus 110. Could we see this one go to overtime? We absolutely could. So I'm not going to hit them in regulation. This should be a game we can count on the goals in the first period, and that's the best way I like this game. Give me the first period, both teams to score. Give me the first period over 1.5, the safest bet of this game at minus 145. Okay, just quick look. Yeah, I know. It's really tricky to say how the Bruins will come out in this one. That's for sure. McDavid, I know. Don't we all love to hate that? McDavid, absolutely phenomenal out there on the ice. As a Calgary Flames fan, I am appalled that he is in Edmonton, but Connor McDavid, you cannot go wrong with taking him for his shots on goal, his anytime goal tonight. He's playing phenomenal. And you guys, he's playing on both ends of the ice. We're starting to see he's not just counting on his defense. He is really showing up. Oilers on the money line, the over 6.5 against Boston. Oh, Joe, I absolutely love that. I really do think with the trends we've seen, I don't want to step in front of Boston, and I'm not going to get there. If you're brave enough, Edmonton has, like I said, won 5 of the last 6 meetings in Boston. This is a team that can get the win over Boston on their home ice. Boston's won their last 10. I don't like to use the word do, but this is a game that they could lose. Oh man, makes me sick even like saying that. Don't tell my co-host on Pikkit Up with Sam and Joe that. Sam will kill me. Let's talk about the San Jose Sharks taking on the St. Louis Blues, 8 p.m. Eastern for this one. This is a game I don't know how many of you are excited for. I'm not too excited for this. This St. Louis Blues team is like sold off everyone. They are in a rebuild. They're coming in here at minus 150 on that money line. The San Jose Sharks at plus 125. Sharks have really struggled versus St. Louis. They've struggled on the season to score goals. Timo Meier was with them. He was really the biggest part of their offensive production. Now he is gone. The Sharks in St. Louis are 2-7 in their last 9 meetings in St. Louis. And we've seen the Blues win their last 6 as a favorite versus the Sharks. I think the St. Louis Blues is the play here. There's no value on it at minus 150 for me. They won the last matchup 6-3. If you're looking at this one, I think, and you really want to bet it, I think you hit that over 6.5. We look at the Sharks versus teams with losing records, 10-4 to that over in their last 14 versus teams with losing records. In the Blues, looking at teams with winning percentages below 400, they've gone 12-4 in their last 16. So the last time out, we saw a really high scoring one with the Blues getting 6 goals and the Sharks getting 3. I do think this is another one where we can just count on the goals. 2 lousy defenses here, especially by the St. Louis Blues, allowing 3.65 goals per game and 32.4 shots on goal. We've seen the Sharks really tighten up defensively. I just don't trust this team enough to take them against a team that has dominated in this matchup. You are fading Connor McDavid for the first time ever, under 1.5 points tonight. What value are you getting, David, on the under 1.5? And I know I can't put my money and feel confident at all in Edmonton tonight. While the trends and everything points to Edmonton should be able to pull off an upset tonight, I can't do it. I can't put my money there because if I lose that bet, it's going to make me ill to my stomach. I would rather bet a crappier game than step in front of the Boston Bruins. So give me the over 1.5 in that game, Anthony, for that first period. Okay, so over 6.5 for the Sharks and the Blues. The next game on the board, you guys, we have here the LA Kings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Copley expected in goal, and I actually want to look at Copley's save shots on goal tonight. I think the LA Kings have every opportunity to pull off this win tonight with Copley in goal. Now, if it ends up being Jonathan Quick, I am a little concerned. We saw Jonathan Quick come out strong in that last, it's Corpustello here. This is, and sorry, Jonathan Quick has gone to Vegas. Corpustello here coming out for the LA Kings. Slip of my tongue, I don't know why. Corpustello, 29.5 save shots on goal. We saw him absolutely stand on his head in the last one. Minus 110 to the over, minus 116 to the under, 29.5 save shots. Interesting play here. So Corpustello in goal for the LA Kings. He got traded from the Columbus Blue Jackets. We loved what we saw out of him with Columbus. I think he's going to make a huge impact here with the LA Kings. Now, the LA Kings have won their last 4 games, and this team has been playing some really solid hockey. This is a team that doesn't get enough respect, I think. People just don't talk about this team, and I'm not sure why. They're sitting second in the Pacific. They're sitting above the Seattle Kraken. They're sitting above the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, they're sitting above the Calgary Flames. Like, this team is a phenomenal hockey team. They've won their last 4 games. We've got Colorado coming in here, and Colorado went on that huge winning streak, and then they've shown some struggles since. Now, Georgiev expected in goal for them. They're coming in at minus 165-ish here on the money line, plus 138 for the LA Kings. The Kings are rolling too hot, you guys, for me to step in front of them here. I think we have a huge opportunity with them as a dog, even with Corpustello in goal and not Copley. I do think he's going to have to stand on his head. He's going to have to prove himself again to his team in this matchup. We look at the Colorado Avalanche. They're averaging 33.1 shots on goal per game. The LA Kings defense has been solid, and this is the only scary thing about taking Corpustello's save shots on goal is, are the LA Kings going to be able to Or are they going to allow more shots on goal by the Colorado Avalanche? And I think they do. I think Colorado just hits over their average shots on goal in this game, with the Kings giving up some more. Korpisalo needs to stand on his head. So for the LA Kings to win and for my bets to connect, I do think Korpisalo has to save over 29.5 save shots on goal in this one. Now, it's a lot to step in front of the Colorado Avalanche. We know how strong this team is. 17, 10, 2, and 3 at home this season. The LA Kings, 17, 11, 5, and 1 on the road, 21 and 13 on the road on that puck line, 14 and 18 for the Avs on the puck line at home. So if you're a little worried about this, for parlay reasons, you can grab the Kings plus 1.5. I don't like it straight up. You're going to pay too much juice there, but I have to take the Kings here. They have struggled versus Colorado, though. This is a huge leap of faith in this Kings team. If you're with me, the Kings plus 138 on the money line, I don't blame you for not touching the Kings tonight at all. This is a leap of faith, you guys. Quick in net for Vegas tonight. Yeah, Jonathan Quick in net for Vegas. Not Aiden Hill. Have we got that goalie change? That is going to be a hard game for Jonathan Quick against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That gives me a little bit of concern for Vegas here. I do like Vegas. Okay. We're gonna rethink that game there. Jonathan Quick adds a huge element to that game. So Aiden Hill has been really strong. Andre Vasilevsky has been strong. I was riding Vegas plus the 146, the first period over 1.5. Jonathan Quick in goal. When we saw him out in his first game for the Vegas Golden Knights, we saw him very strong in the first 2 periods. The third period, his age really showed. He allowed, I believe, 3 goals in that third period. In this game, Vegas versus Tampa Bay Lightning, and I'm sorry for everyone listening that I'm jumping back to this one, but with Jonathan Quick in goal tonight, I know I took Vegas for the full game plus 146. Take Vegas for the first period. I do think he comes out strong in that first period, but I like the first period over 1.5. This is a tricky situation, you guys. I'm not as confident in Vegas right now with Jonathan Quick in. The lines have not moved, though, which I am extremely surprised by. Oh, this might be a little bit. Let's have faith in Vegas. Let's have faith in Jonathan Quick tonight. I really do think he gets more support than he did with the LA Kings, and I liked what we saw out of him in the first and second period in that last game. Look for Jonathan Quick to hold tight in this one versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Fingers crossed. We're going to jump to the Nashville Predators taking on the Arizona Coyotes. 9 o'clock Eastern for this one. Total has gone from 6 to 6.5. We have the Predators coming in here at, double checking my lines here, you guys, minus 164, so no changes here, plus 136 for the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes are one of those teams in Mullet Arena. They do play strong at home. Their overall home record is 15, 11, and 3. They love to play upset, but this Predators team, they need every single win they can get to stay in the playoff contention. So minus 164 for the Preds. I think they get the win here. I'm a little nervous about regulation, to be honest with you guys. I think they're kind of a parlay piece here. They're off a loss in their last game to the Vancouver Canucks. They had to go to shootout with that one. They lost 4-3. They've got the LA Kings on deck on Saturday, which is going to be a phenomenally hard game for them here. Now, the last time they played the Coyotes, they got a huge win. It was a 6-2 win, but they have struggled. In Arizona, they're 3-9 in their last 12 in Arizona. I think in this one, you take the Arizona Coyotes on the puck line for parlay reasons at plus 1.5 at minus 165, or you take the Predators at minus 164 on the money line. Whichever way you like this. If you think the Coyotes can give you enough, take them on that puck line and parlay. And if you think it's the Preds game tonight to win, that they can't lose this one, you got to take the Preds on the money line for parlays. I think the best bet of this game is just take the over 6.5. We've seen these two teams trend to that over when they play each other. We know the Coyotes defense is struggling, but they are putting up more goals, and especially at home. Now, they are being limited to their shots on goal, and Saros is expected in net for the Nashville Predators tonight. So you got to have a little bit of faith in the Coyotes for them to help push this over. So if you just want to trust in the Predators tonight, looking at their team total, over that 3.5. Let me just pull up the value. And I do think that would be a solid way to go to look at their team total, because I think Nashville can score on Arizona. We've seen them score in Arizona, and I would not be worried about that. So the Predators team total over 3.5 is plus 102. I hate when they give us plus money with a team that is averaging 2.87. So they're not going really over that, but they put up 6 goals on the Coyotes the last time, and the Coyotes allowed just under 4 goals at 3.56 per game and 35.6 shots on goal. So this is one where you can look at the Predators' shots on goal. You can look at those goals to come in. It's going to be an interesting game, you guys. We've got one more game to go over, the Ottawa Senators versus the Seattle Kraken. Now this one kicks off at 10 o'clock Eastern here. Matt Sogard expected in net for the Ottawa Senators. Now the Senators, I swear, they killed everyone's parlays, everyone's bets the last game they played versus the Chicago Blackhawks. They were rolling so hot. They go into Chicago, and what do? They lose that freaking game. They got shut out 5-0 by the Chicago Blackhawks. It's mind-blowing what we saw out of them. They completely fell apart in that game. Brady Tkachuk goes off the ice punching at the boards. He was frustrated. The team was frustrated. Do they bounce back here is the biggest question. And then we look at the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken have won their last 5 games. They're only minus 134 here. On the money line, that kind of confuses me a little bit. They're sitting 3rd in the Pacific. I thought they would be minus 160 favorites coming into this game. And I know Ottawa has been digging deep because they don't want to not be in some sort of wild card spot. Cam Talbot is out, and who knows for how long for the Ottawa Senators, as he did get a lower body injury. So we'll see what happens there. The Senators 5-1 in their last 6 overall. The Kraken 5-0 in their last 5 overall. They're coming in with 1 day's rest, which is a strong thing for them. They're 4-0 in their last 4 games playing on 1 day's rest. But we look at them versus teams with winning records, and this is where we're seeing these struggles. Well, they're winning games versus teams with winning records. They've only won 1 of their last 8 games versus teams with winning records. So which way do we go with this one? Well, I want to be brave enough and take the Ottawa Senators because we're getting plus money on a team that we know can get wins. 13-15-2 on the road, 16-12-2-1 on the Kraken at home. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take the over 6.5. I do think we see the goals coming in. I do think this is a 3-4 style game. I would rather take the over in this one because the Seattle Kraken, I think, should be the favorite. But the Ottawa Senators, off that loss, it's scary to go against them here. They will be frustrated and mad. I think we look at the first period over 1.5. I think we look at the first period, both teams to score. Grubauer expected in goal here for the Seattle Kraken. And we look at the game over 6.5. The Senators on 2 days rest, strong to that over. And when we look at the Kraken at home, trending nicely to that over as well. So you guys, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go the over 6.5. I can't believe how many games I'm liking to that over today. Scares me a little bit, but I do think we have higher scoring games. Defenses at this point of the season really need to start locking down. I don't think we're going to see it in this one. I think just with how hot offenses have been in this game between these two, we will see it go over that 6.5. Oh, you guys, 11 games on the ice. I'm a little stressed for them. I'm not going to lie, especially with Jonathan Quick now in goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. Got to have some faith. My money's already on Vegas. So what am I going to do? I can't pull my money out. I'm not cashing out because then when they win, I will be so frustrated. So let's build a parlay. Let's do my best bets. Long shot parlay. You guys know the drill. Recap. You guys ready? 39 minutes and 20 seconds. I will get the bookmarks up today. I apologize to anyone who has been looking for those bookmarks. Just so much on the go. So the first game, 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to go through them all. We're going to recap and we're going to give the best bets. Going to be fast. So grab your pen, grab your paper if you're looking to join me on this parlay. I will recap the parlay at the end. So if you miss one, don't worry, you're safe. The New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to take the Penguins in the first period here, laying a half a goal at plus 156. I think this is a Pens game to win. They need to dig deep here. They got Tristan Jarry in goal. Now, it is hard because the New York Islanders will be starting Sorokin, and they've won their last 2 games, and the Islanders have been so strong versus the Penguins. But I expect a big night out of the Penguins tonight. I expect this one to go over the total of 5.5. I like Sidney Crosby here for over 1.5 points. You got to have faith, though. It's plus 180. The safer bet is to take his assists over 0.5 at minus 118. So those are the bets I like for this game. For the parlay, just give me the Penguins here on the money line for the parlay. The best bet of this game, I got to say, I got to take the Penguins in the first period. Minus a half a goal, plus 156. The New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens, 7 o'clock Eastern in this one. One of my favorite bets of the day is the Rangers on that puck line. I know I'm asking a lot, minus 1.5. I do think we're going to see a Rangers team with all of their new pieces out there on the ice actually clicking tonight in this game. So Rangers on the puck line, minus 1.5 at minus 120. One of my best bets. And then I'm going to take the Rangers here. The Rangers in regulation for the parlay. And that's it. That's all I'm doing for that game. I think if it was Sam Montembeault in goal for the Montreal Canadiens, I probably would second guess that a little bit, but it's Jake Allen. The New Jersey Devils and the Washington Capitals. I tell you, if the Devils let me down again, they lost that last one when they were right around this price on the money line, but I don't think they do today. So the Devils on the money line, favorite bet of this game. I'm going to throw the Devils on the money line into the parlay as well, but I'm going to bet it separately in this game too. I think Devils take the first period as well. The Washington Capitals returning from a road trip. You can't trust them returning from a road trip. This isn't a team that is strong in that situation. The Devils dominated in the last game. So you guys know I'm going to sprinkle on the Devils on that puck line. Devils on the puck line. Let me just get the value here for you guys because I cannot remember it off the top of my head. The Devils on the puck line minus 1.5 is plus 160. You guys know I love that. Plus money there with the Devils. Vanek expected in goal and Darcy Kemper. Now stay tuned for those goalies and make sure you are getting the first string goalie here. But I do think this one goes over because I do think the Devils themselves can put this game over. Darcy Kemper, we know, hasn't been as strong as of late, but probably safer to take the Devils team total over that total. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Carolina Hurricanes. This is one the Canes should steamroll in, but they got Vegas on deck on Saturday. The Flyers have been so strong on that puck line for everyone on the road, 21-12 on the puck line, and we're getting them plus 2.5 on that puck line. They only have to lose this game by 2 goals, and we still win. So give me the Flyers plus 2.5 on that puck line. The next game, we've got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, I really thought Adin Hill would be in goal tonight, but we've got Jonathan Quick. My money's already on Vegas. If you don't want to jump on Vegas, I don't blame you here. Tampa is so strong at home. They were on a terrible streak. They got a win. I don't know if I can trust this team. I think they've been too inconsistent. I'm still going to back Vegas here. I'm going to have faith in Jonathan Quick. I'm going to take Vegas plus 146. For the upset. It's not one of my best bets. I'm not feeling as confident now without Jonathan Quick or with Jonathan Quick without Adin Hill. But I do think that first period goes over 1.5 in this game. I expect 2 goals to come in nice and quick in this one. So give me Vegas and the Lightning for the parlay over 1.5 goals in the first period. The next game on the board, the Dallas Stars taking on the Buffalo Sabres. I am relying on Jake Ottinger to have a fantastic night. Eric Cromberry coming out here for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, Dallas on the money line for the parlay is what I'm going to throw in there. But when I'm looking at this game, I am kind of nervous about taking Dallas in regulation. I'm going to look at my best bet of this game being Jake Ottinger, save shots on goal over 27.5. I think he has every ability to go over this number. Now, I do lean on the under 6.5 in this one, and that is because I do believe Jake Ottinger is really going to limit the Buffalo Sabres' ability to score. Now, Dallas themselves have fired in some of these games and could take us over, but I really do think we see a strong defensive game out of the Dallas Stars. We stay under this total of 6.5 with the Buffalo Sabres being limited. But you guys know, just like me, Buffalo Sabres games, they could go over. Like in that first period, we could see 3 goals. So it'll be a scary situation if we see that. But count on Jake Ottinger over 27.5 save shots on goal. The Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins. You guys, Boston just the hottest team in the whole league right now. They've won their last 10 games, and I don't want to put my money in front of Boston. Could we see Edmonton win? Absolutely. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings in Boston. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these goals to come fast in that first period. I'm going to, for the parlay, take Edmonton and Boston over 1.5 for the first period. I do think you can count on taking that by itself as well. It's getting a little juiced at -145, but I still do like it. I think both teams to score is a nice straight up bet for a little sprinkle. Both teams to score in this one between Edmonton and Boston in that first period is +150. And how can you not love that? Boston in regulation, I'm not too confident on. I think this could go to overtime. So Edmonton just has played them so strong on their own home ice. So give me the first period over 1.5 as the best bet, and give me both teams to score in that first period at +150. The San Jose Sharks and the St. Louis Blues, 8 o'clock Eastern matchup for this one. This isn't one I'm too excited for, you guys. St. Louis has owned this matchup here. The Sharks really have struggled in St. Louis as well. I can't get behind St. Louis at -150, and I can't have faith in the Sharks team who hasn't played well here. So give me the over 6.5. The last matchup between these two teams produced 9 goals, and I do think we can see the goals coming in. I really don't care who wins this one. Just give me the over. So Sharks and Blues over 6.5 for the parlay. The next game on the board, you guys, we've got 3 more to go over. We have the LA Kings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to have faith in the LA Kings. Now, Copley is not in goal, which I originally thought, but we do have Corpostello, and we liked what we saw out of him for Columbus. When we saw him versus the Edmonton Oilers, that's when I really took note of what we've been able to see out of Corpostello. So I do think he can come out nice and strong versus the Colorado Avalanche, which is a scary situation. You can take his over 29.5 save shots on goal for Corpostello tonight, and I do think that comes in. Like I said, for the Kings to win this, and for us to get that beautiful plus money, we're going to need Corpostello to have an absolutely freaking amazing night. We're going to need the defense of the LA Kings to really limit Colorado's ability to get these shots on goal. They hold opponents regularly to 28.2. Their defense really been stepping up as of late. So give me the LA Kings here, +138 on that money line for the parlay. I'm not going to add this one to the parlay. I could see the total going either way, and I don't want to double up on this game because it's going to be a scary one. The Nashville Predators and the Arizona Coyotes. You guys, I think the Preds get the win here. That's what I'm going to throw into the parlay. The Preds on the money line. You could parlay the Arizona Coyotes +1.5 at -165 if you want as well. I want to put my money where I think the team who is going to need this win the most. I hate using that term, but want the win the most. I think the Predators are dying to get this win. They've got a really hard game on deck. They've got to get every single win that they can get to stay off in playoff contention. But I do think the over 6.5 is exactly where you need to go as well with this game. I think we see the goals coming in. You can take the Preds team total if you just trust in the Preds here tonight as well. The Ottawa Senators and the Seattle Kraken. I want to have faith in the Sens here. I really thought the Seattle Kraken should have been -160 favorites. They're only -134. They're sitting 3rd in the Pacific. We've got the Ottawa Senators winning 5 of their last 6. They got completely shut out by the Blackhawks in their last game. They're going to be desperate. They're going to be fighting. They don't want to fall out of wild card contention either. Seems like they're going, if they lose this game, this team is going to just lose from here on out is what I expect. But I'm going to take both teams. I'm going to take both teams to be able to score in this one. Give me the Sens and the Kraken over 6.5. And I hate I'm liking so many overs, you guys. My apologies for that. I cannot take another under to save my life tonight. I couldn't find one that I liked. So good luck tonight to you two. I'm glad you're tailing me on Ottinger. The only way the Dallas Stars are going to have a successful game tonight is if Jake Ottinger stands on his head. So I'm stressed today, you guys. Let's recap that parlay. We've got the Penguins on the money line, the Rangers in regulation. You could take them on the money line if you want. The odds are going to change a bit, but you're still going to get great plus money. The Devils on the money line, the Flyers plus 2.5 on the puck line, Vegas and the Lightning first period over 1.5, Dallas on the money line, Edmonton and Boston over 1.5, the Sharks and the Blues over 6.5, the Preds on the money line, and the Sens and the Kraken over 6.5. My favorite bets of the day, the Rangers on the puck line minus 1.5 at minus 120. The Devils on the money line at minus 146. The Devils for a sprinkle on that puck line minus 1.5 at plus 160. And the LA Kings, trusting them there with Corpustello in at plus 138. Oh, you guys, it's going to be a stressful night. I can feel it already. We've already got basketball underway. Are you guys enjoying basketball so far this month? March Madness right around the corner. Always take Joe's favorite bets. Yeah, I always take my favorite bets. That's where I'm going with my money. Corpustello, fingers crossed, has a good night for the Kings. Jake Ottinger, definitely, I love Jake Ottinger here for that over. How many save shots on goal was it? Jake Ottinger over. It's only 27.5, and that's why I stumbled when I went to say it. I would expect 29.5 in that matchup versus the Buffalo Sabres. So Jake Ottinger over 27.5 save shots on goal for the Dallas Stars tonight. It's my favorite prop of the whole night. You know, when you're looking at Tampa Bay Lightning, you got to take Braden Point for the anytime goal. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Jack Eichel, I think, for Vegas is someone to look at as well. There's so many players we could look at in tonight's games, but I think what I gave you guys, the best bets of these games. Kev, people want to hear what you're betting, so let them know. This will be a great night. You guys drop what you're betting below. Let everyone be able to tail you as well. Let's celebrate each other's wins. That's what this community is all about, is us all coming together. I try to give you the best wins I can have. If you guys have a take on something, drop it below this video so everyone can tail you. Let's make some freaking money together, you guys. I will be back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Hit that subscribe button because, you know, on the weekends, I am sporadic at what time I am going to be live. So you guys have a good one. Corpustello, minus 115 save shots on goal. How many save shots on goal is it for Corpustello again? 29.5 for Corpustello. You're getting that at minus 115. I like it. Take Corpustello, save shots on goal at minus 115. I think that's a fantastic way to go. He needs to stand on his head if we want the win. John, Vegas plus 1.5. I love it, John. All the best with Vegas tonight. I think they get it. I'm fading the Islanders tonight, Jason. I really do think the Penguins get the win over the Islanders. Good luck, everyone. All the best in all of your bets. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Bye now. I don't know what I was going to say. We'll see you later.